Hey, hi, morning. So, say yesterday we covered like a multiple topic till 10 question. Okay, but a few demo you can say it's a pending.
Okay,
Like a first question in memory optimization. Okay, so basically yesterday we didn't went through. You can say it's a practical or demonstration. So today we'll be covering this point, and if anything is a you have a then we can go through. So this is demo we have to complete. Temporal table, I think yesterday we went through.
okay.
Okay, so I will check if you can go through whatever recording. It's a very straightforward, and I will check if anything is there. Quick session, we can recap those points. We can go through with this demo part also. Resource governors. Encrypt backup we'll also cover for today. Basically, I added this question. So, Sek, we went through a static masking, dynamic masking, we went through. Row versioning, basically, we cover into the temporal table, basically. So, we covered already. Partition, we didn't cover, but I will explain. So, let us start from the demo part. Uh, so, basically, what is your, you can say, in memory optimization, basically. So, in memory, basically, it's came into the 2014 SQL Server onwards. So why it came? Let's suppose when we are executing any query and fetching a record from the table. So mainly data is stored into the disk. We can say hard disk or SSD or premium hard disk they are storing. But if you can compare with a hard disk, uh, SSD or RAM. So basically RAM is faster than all. So now in memory optimization, it means you can save your table into, you can save in a memory directly instead of let's suppose we are searching one record and those record they are searching from the, you can say first they are checking if not available into the buffer. So directly they are executing from the disk and populating those record, and after that responding to any user basically. So we are initially we are getting a, you can say low performance while fetching a record from the disk because physical IO is creating a problem. If anything available into the memory or RAM or buffer cache, you'll get a better performance. Same case for the procedure also. If your procedure does not contains you can say execution plan into the your buffer cache, it means finally they have to go with a disk, and after that they have to create a plan, and then plans should be cached into the memory. So same capability, if we can capture all the data into the, you can say memory, so it's improve the performance. So in this topic mainly, we can create our table into the memory. Maybe some cases we can capture into the, you can say a schema only into the memory. Some cases a schema and data we can capture. Two methods are there. One method is the durability in a schema label, or second is a schema and data both. So if we can go through like a in-memory capability, you will get a good like a improvement into the performance end. So let's try to start. So first I'm going with, you can say, in memory.
I have a question like when you say in memory, that will
Hmm.
be temporary, right? Not
Yes,
permanent.
yes, 100%. Basically, I already said like a two method are there, durability in a schema only durability and a schema and data in you can say durability. So it means whatever your data is writing into the table. So initially, first case, it's a stored into the memory. And after that, on basis of a available infrastructure, they will start syncing with the actual data file. Or you can say actual any physical file location or hard disk location basically. You got my point basically.
Yes.
Because like let's suppose something is happened. You started writing a data into the table, and after that you got like a it's a power down, or you can say even disaster came and your data will not available. So if you can go with a durability option, a schema, then metadata will be available. And if you can go with a schema and data, you'll get a both thing. Okay. So let me show you this part only, and after that I can execute those. Like I'm creating an employee table in a memory basically. Okay. Employee number is an integer varchar. Next, this is a common query. If you'll try to execute into the durability, you can say normal SQL statement is there. But only what is a change here with I'm going with a mean memory optimize on. So basically this table compatible with a memory optimize, and second option I'm saying a schema only. So it means only metadata or will be available durable. Like if any a disaster came or power down like let's suppose I will shut down my like a system by default without like a powering. So what will happen after like a restarting your laptop or CPU, or you can say server, you will get only a schema instead of whole data. Okay. Here you can see it. I mentioned like a two durability measure option is there, a schema only and a schema data both. So most of the cases we have to go with this option. But if you are doing some like a temporary, like let's suppose I have to do some temporary work. So for that case, you have to go with a, you can say schema only, and you'll not go to write each and every data into the disk. So this case, you have to go for the calculation. Like let's suppose some application DB or developers, I'm doing some like extraction, temporary table, something like that. So basically temporary table is creating into the disk and it's a degrading a performance. So instead of temporary table, if you can go with a in-memory table with a schema only, will get a better performance instead of temporary table. You got?
Okay.
So
So
how
how
we
about the existing table?
yeah, tell me.
How about the existing table without a new one? If I want to, fetch the data with in-memory optimization.
So basically, like let's suppose you created a table. So by default, it's creating into the primary file group. Okay. So
Okay.
primary file group, it means it's a both are two different file group. Let me open a like a database properties so that you got to know. So if I can open this data properties, so we have a two file groups. In a file group, you can see here is a primary file group. Let's suppose I'm creating one table. Let me check anything is created or not. No, nothing is there. So let me create one table. Okay. And you'll get to know what is happening. And after that, create table, TPL, employee. Let's suppose I'm creating this. So, this table created into the primary file group. So let me show you if you can open table properties, or if you can a script out of your table, a script, you will get your table created into the primary file group, and primary file group associated with the MDF file. Okay. Already. Let's suppose, because whatever I created this as script, you can see this is a script, genuine script. And you can see here is a file group name mentioned, primary. It means whatever data file integrated with this file group, generally, if you can go file, you can see here is a file group, primary. And primary file group located your data or table into this path, this data file. Okay. Let's suppose if I will create a file group, what should be happen? You will be creating a memory optimized file group. So you'll create here. It's a different one. It's not equivalent to your primary or log, basically file group. So when we'll create here. It's a different file group, memory optimized data. And next, what you have to do, we have to create a file. Here you have to create a file, and those file group you have to integrate here. Whatever file group you will be creating. So it's a different file. So what you have to do, you have to change your table. You have to change here. Like a file group, you have to change. And file group, whatever associated with the file, those data will move into that specific file group. What if, like, let's suppose I'm giving a one example. Let's suppose my one table into the file group primary, and I created a secondary file group. Okay. So how we can move your table into the primary to secondary? Do you know what is the process to move any table available into the primary file group to secondary file group?
No, I don't know.
Okay. So basically what happened? A schema you have to create into the your file group, because whatever the schema you created here, you can say metadata I created and mentioned on primary, because by default primary is pointed. But when we'll create a any file group, let me create one file group. I'm going to create a normal file group, not going with a, you can say, secfg. Okay. Okay. What is?
Okay.
Okay. One second. What is happening? Add file group. Okay. No. And I'm going to add one file here. You have to add a file, and it's a demo db sec. Okay. Here you have to mention your file group, okay, row, and you have to go with whatever file group you created. And here you have to mention your data file name and df. I'm going. Okay. You cannot empty object name. Where is the object name I'm missing? I think same file group. No, it's not required default. Oh, I added here. Sorry. Let me remove this. Okay. And default should be this. Okay, let me go. So basically, I created a table, and now I will create a table into this file group, a sec file fg. Basically used by the another user. Okay, let me try to close whatever session is there. Okay, I think session is already connected. So let me go the DB ID. Let me try to hit. Okay, 1 second. Yeah. So it's created. Now, let's suppose I want to create a table. Once again, imply table and empno. Here you have to mention on secfg. So whatever data I'll be creating here, okay, invalid file group. Why? What is the name of file group? secfg. Any syntax is incorrect or not? I think we are right. Oh, sorry. I have to select database. I missed to select. So basically they are not fine file group. So whatever data you will insert into this table, finally, they will move into the a specific file basically. And I integrated this secfg with this table only. Okay. Okay. So let's suppose you want to move any table. So first you have to, because what is happening? You have a actual one physical files. If you are going with a schema durability or a schema or data durability. So basically you have to create your table and move your data into it. So we have like let me proceed with a we can say same how we can go with a create a in memory table, or in memory you can say how we can enable and add file group, and second step how we can associate any file. So let me remove first, we have to remove this table because so many file groups are there, or let me. So sec any like any query. Basically, what you have to do, you have to create your table and move a data into the whatever file group and you created basically.
Okay.
Okay. So first process, let's
Sorry, Bhaiya,
suppose,
can I ask?
yeah, tell me. Yeah.
Actually, I just want to talk with Sheikh that Sheikh, you want to ask that if you have existing table, so you can convert in memory optimize, right? I think you want to ask this.
Yes, yeah. Basically, what I said, Arun, I said like let's suppose I have an employee table, okay, and same
Yes,
employee
Bhaiya.
table you have to move into the in memory capability table. Yeah, I think this was a question. So what you have to do, you have to create a same schema into the like your file group,
Okay.
in memory file group with a different name, because same time you can't create table, or you can say rename your table with a like a old or whatever new, and then create a in memory table, actual table into the in memory, and then you have to move your data, you'll get a faster. I think today I will try to cover if we have a actual table and if we have a in memory table, how you can like a check how much like inserting a 1 lakh report, and you will get near about 90% improvement while loading a data into it. So we'll try
Okay.
to fix those. Yeah.
Okay. Most of the company use this mechanism, Bhaiya, or not?
Yeah, basically for the developer, like while they are using a temporary table, they are replacing into the you can say in memory table, but physically they are not using. Okay, due to durability. Initially, what happened? Like all company have a, you can say hard disk only, and hard disk have a low you can say performance. But now SSD, premium SSD came, and they are getting a like a performance near about. It's not same to like a memory. But temporary calculation, if they want temporary calculation, they have to go with a in-memory table. Basically, why they are not using this in-memory temporary table? Let's suppose I inserted data into the memory, and finally data will sync with your hard disk. So we are like how much like we are consuming a more memory and processor, double you can say. Initially we are writing into the memory, and after that they are writing a syncing with a actual data file. Okay, so it's a double of memory we are going with. So that's why, and due to durability, sometimes like let's suppose I went through data, metadata, so you will not get a you can say same like a
Okay.
performance. But if you are
Okay.
going with a durability option, you will get a you can say a writing cost, because finally you have to write in two places, memory as well as data file also, and you will get a same performance some cases. Yeah, tell me.
Okay. Okay, one more question, Bia. Actually, because we are working on file group and you are talking about also that, so I just want to ask one more question about file group.
Yep.
Suppose you have created table in memory amp table,
Uh-huh.
okay, and your disk size is 500 GB. Suppose you want to create a new file group for that table, that particular table,
Mm-hmm.
and suppose you have created in a wrong drive, means matlab in
Wrong
another
file
drive,
group. Yeah, yeah, wrong file group.
wrong file,
Yep.
suppose. So and some data has also inserted in that file group.
Mm-hmm.
Now you feel that you have done some mistake, so you if suppose if we delete this file group, so what should be action we should take? Means before deleting we should move this data by which process or how to?
Basically, for file group is a different process. File group only you have to change your file groups. Okay. Whatever file you created, like let's suppose we have a two file group and I created my table into the first file group, primary file group I created. And after that, I got to know my file group like a primary file group available into the C drive and C drive near about to full. So now what we have to do, we have to create another drive into the D drive, and I have to start using those. So basically, for this case only, you have to change, you can say file group only. And after changing a file group, automatically data start moving into the new drive. No need to like, you can say completely you have to drop and load data into the different drive and move a data. Partially data available into the different data file and partially available into the new data files.
But if I want to delete the new data file, a new file
Old.
group,
So if if you want to delete a existing whatever by mistake you created, let's suppose.
yes.
So for this case, your data should be moved into the whatever, because one thing I want to say here, file group is a logical, it's not a physical. If you are removing a file, then you have to move a data. But if you are removing a file group, only modifying a file group, it's not impact anything. Are you
Okay.
getting those? Because if you want
Yes.
to delete a file, like a C drive data file you want to delete, and primary data file available into the C drive. So if you are going to remove like a primary, you are not going to remove a primary C drive file, then it's not a problem. But if you are going to remove so actual file, then you have to move your data into the another. So instead of going with the partial data from C and partial data from D, and now you are moving into the E drive. For this case, you have to create a new file group and move entire data into the E drive basically.
Okay, babe.
Let's take another example, because sometimes, because when I work as a DBA, what happened? Let's suppose like a C drive, my data available into the D drive. Okay. And D drive near about to full. And now like a application team came and they're saying we don't have like a only 20 GB space available into the D drive. And now we have to fix. So you have to create a file group, create your file into the E drive and change your file group. So now your data moving, like let's suppose initially I selected primary into the C drive. Now I'm selecting primary and modifying E drive as a primary. So now data will move into the E drive. You got my point?
Okay, Bill.
So only file group is a logical, physical is a your file. So if anything you are doing with a file, you have to like move whatever data available into the file. Okay. So let's database is already created. Now we are creating a one file group in memory file group, and we are going with this feature memory optimize. So let me add this file group. And if I can show you here in file group, I think it's not refreshed. Okay, it's done already. So let me refresh and try to check database. So in memory file group, you'll get a in memory file group is added here. Are you able to see? And second, now we have to add your file. This is a logical name and this is a physical name. I'm creating into the C drive basically. And I created a file group FG in memory FG. So I'm associating this with this file group. So let me create this. Okay. If I will create this table and I'm going with this option, so your table is creating into this, you can say. So let me search this table, and if you can check, this table is a part of this memory, you can say, in memory file group. So basically it's a in memory table, and by default, like whatever in memory is there. So if let's suppose what I can do, if I have a like a shutdown systems, so what I can do, I can insert a data into it, because and after directly power down of laptop, you will not get a data, whatever data you ingested into this table basically. Because whatever option I created this table, and this table is a part of a schema only. Whatever data available into the, you can say, into the memory. Next time when you will reboot your laptop, or you will not get your data, because data is safe. Only metadata is available into the whatever file I created into the C drive file groups. For testing purpose, let's suppose I will create this table. This table is not part of any, we can say, in memory. It's already there. Let me create a different. And if you can insert your data into the both table, you'll get a, you can say, 90% gap in a performance side. So if we can try to create a one loop and then we'll try to add a data. So basically we'll get a 90% improvement into the in-memory table. So basically I'm suggesting if you will working as a DBA, so any procedure and you can say procedure is coming. So you have to suggest instead of temporary table, if they can go with a in-memory, they will get a better performance instead of temporary table or global temporary table. They have to replace into this. So first you have to create your file group. You have to create your like a file group, and in memory like a, you have to create a file, and then you have to share file group to them. So that they will create a table into the in memory. Okay. So do you want to demo like if you can go insert a data with a loop in this table, and in this table you'll get a, you can say, lot of performance improvement in both sides. So basically we have to write a code here, like we have to go with a loop and insert a data into it. So if I will insert a data here, insert into both table, I'm going with this, and value, I'm going with I only, and here something. So if I will execute this part and same part, I'm going with a both table. So I think how many columns are there? Okay, same column we can treat. So if we can execute and try to capture your time, declare at the rate, I'm going with a current date time. Okay. And here we are setting a date, get date. Instead of writing this, if I can just straightforward write select get. Okay. After completion, I will place this date and then we have to place date. So maybe you got to know what is happening here. Sorry. Are you getting this? Basically, I'm creating a loop. In loops, we are inserting a record. So initially we are like just like a bookmark, what time we are stating. So we are going with a get date, selecting a get date, and after that get date and once again get date. So you'll get a how much differences in both table you can say. So let me try to execute this part and you'll get a differences. And instead of this much, if you can minimize because so many records. Okay, 535. Okay. So let me try to execute. You'll get a how much difference you are getting into the, because first one is a in-memory table and second one is a physical table. Okay, start at 8:34, 51 seconds. I think you got now because whatever like initially I executed with the primary, you can say it's a memory table. I think it's completed, but uh, your physical table into the disk table, it's taking long. So let's check how much time they took. Okay, you can compare. Here is a 34, 51 and 55. Just go with this part. 51, 55. Here you can see 34 or 35. And here you can see how much differences. Are you getting difference? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, we
Yes,
are.
you are.
So are you able to see
Yes,
what is the differences?
a millisecond.
In millisecond, no, it's a millisecond. If you can compare here, 50, just finish 55 and 47,
Yes,
near about 1 minute for this one. And here you can
yes.
see how much, only 4 seconds. 34, 34, 51 to 55. Only compare this part only. 51 second to 55 second. Here you can see 1 minute gap is there and near about a 47 and here is a 55. So only if you can subtract 357 second is only near about to like a 1 minute. Here is a 40, how much seconds? Total if I can, here is a 3 and 5, 8. It means
8 seconds.
near 52 seconds. And here we are saying it's a 4 second. You are getting these differences. Here only 4 second difference, and here is a 52 second. Are you getting this? Here is a 34 to 35 and then 55, 47. So if we can go 3 minus and 5, 3, 5, 8, it means 60 minus 8. It's a 52 second, here is a 4 second. So instead of going with a temporary table, because in a temporary table, you will get a same performance 52 second. But in memory table, you will get a 4 second. So a lot of improvement. And it's a small table. If you can go with a big table populating a data, you will get a good performance comparatively this now. And it's a huge difference, you can say. It's a less than, for this calculation, you can say it's a 92% improvement into the, you can say, in memory table. Okay. So I think we have to connect our next class and we can go through with the resource governance. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.